In the small, bustling village of Manyara, nestled in the heart of Tanzania, lived a man named Baraka Mkumbo. Baraka was known throughout the village for his kindness, integrity, and the unparalleled love he had for his family. His wife, Asha, and their 2 young children, Juma and Rehema, were the center of his universe. Life in Manyara was simple, but the Mkumbo family's joy made it beautiful. One hot afternoon, as the sun beat down upon the red earth, the village's tranquility was shattered by a piercing scream. Smoke billowed from the house of the village chief, Mzee. His home was ablaze, and soon it was clear that his youngest daughter, Nima, was trapped inside. Villagers rushed to the scene, forming a desperate chain to fetch water from the nearby river. But their efforts seemed futile against the fierce flames. Baraka, without a second thought, ran into the inferno. With the strength and determination that only a father could muster, he fought through the smoke and fire. Moments later, he emerged with Nima cradled in his arms. The village erupted in cheers and gratitude. Baraka had saved Nima, but his own clothes were singed, his skin burned in patches. He was hailed as a hero. Days later, the joy turned into horror. One morning, the body of a villager, Mzee, was found near the edge of the village, lifeless and cold. Mzee was known for his wealth, and immediately, whispers of murder spread through the village like wildfire. People looked for someone to blame, and fear clouded their judgment. A village meeting was called by Mzee. With somber faces and hushed voices, the villagers gathered under the old baobab tree. Accusations flew, and suspicion fell on Baraka. He had been seen near Mzee's house the previous night, they said. Perhaps he had killed Mzee to steal his wealth. Baraka stood there, bewildered and heartbroken. He knew the truth, but the fear in the villagers' eyes blinded them. Asha held his hand tightly, her tears silent but her grip firm. Baraka's children clung to him, their innocent eyes not fully understanding the gravity of the situation. Despite Baraka's pleas and Asha's cries, the villagers demanded justice. In their fear and confusion, they believed they were right. Baraka was sentenced to die by fire, the same fire from which he had saved Nima. It was a cruel irony that none of the villagers seemed to notice. The night before the execution, Asha visited Baraka in his small cell. She brought him food and water, but neither of them could eat. They spoke of their love, their children, and the life they had built together. They wept together, knowing that this was their last night together. Baraka made Asha promise to take care of Juma and Rehema, to tell them stories of their father who loved them more than anything. At dawn, the villagers gathered once again, this time with torches and a grim resolve. Baraka was led to the center of the village, where a wooden stake had been erected. His eyes searched the crowd, but all he saw were faces filled with fear and anger. Mzee stood nearby, holding Nima close. Even she seemed afraid of the man who had saved her life. As the flames began to lick at Baraka's feet, he felt no pain. His thoughts were with his family. He closed his eyes and prayed for their safety. He prayed for the village, that they might see the error of their ways. And as the fire consumed him, a great cry of anguish rose from the crowd. Asha's voice, filled with love and sorrow, was the last thing he heard. Days turned into weeks, and the village of Manyara mourned. Guilt weighed heavily on their hearts. Mzee, unable to live with the decision he had made, spent his days by Baraka's grave, begging for forgiveness that would never come. The truth was finally revealed when the real murderer, driven by guilt, confessed to the crime. The villagers were devastated by the realization that they had killed an innocent man. Asha, with the strength that Baraka had loved so much, picked up the pieces of her shattered life. She worked tirelessly to provide for Juma and Rehema. She told them stories of their father every night, of his bravery, his kindness, and his love. The children grew up knowing that their father was a hero, not just because he saved Nima, but because of the love he had for his family and his unwavering integrity. Years passed, and the village of Manyara changed. the people never forgot Baraka Mkumbo. His story became a legend, a tale told to remind the villagers of the dangers of fear and the importance of justice. Baraka's spirit lived on in the hearts of those who knew him, a beacon of love and bravery that would never fade. In the end, Baraka's legacy was one of love and sacrifice. He had lived a life of integrity and died an innocent man, but his memory served to remind the village of the true meaning of justice and the power of love. And in the quiet moments, when the sun set over the red earth, the villagers would pause and remember the man who had given everything for the ones he loved.